you can't build Harleys because you don't have any tattoos. I got some road rash. I don't have any tattoos, but that is a stereotype, but it has an unofficial weight to it. But let's go hop on the Indian Chieftain and let's talk about this a little bit more. When I originally heard that comment, the first thing I thought was that this is sarcastic, it's a joke. Did take it to heart, but I know some people would have taken that pretty much literally, that, you know, if you don't have tattoos, you can't build a Harley. But even though that's a stereotype, when you look at people who build Harleys, the majority of them pretty much have tattoos. And it kind of just comes with the territory. So I actually, you know, took this a step further, and I put this into ChatGPT, the AI learning language model, and I asked it, what does a bike builder look like? Or rather, what does a motorcycle rider look like? And a motorcycle rider, he described, was somebody that had a helmet, they had a leather jacket on, they was sitting beside a motorcycle, and they had leather chaps on. I asked it this multiple times to get, you know, different answers, and it was some kind of variation of that, right? Cool. But when I asked it, what does a bike builder look like? It said a person standing with a wrench in their hand with a leather jacket on, looking in despair, with a motorcycle that's leaking something. So, oh, and it said if they didn't have a leather jacket on, they have tattoos as well. That could be on like their neck or their arms. So essentially, again, I asked it this multiple times and I got a variation of this. So clearly, if an AI language model, which is a combination of a bunch of different information that's already out there, is saying this, then clearly that is something that's a stereotype, that's a thing, right? So when I look at myself, yes, I do not have tattoos, I don't smoke, I don't drink. So it's like, you know, am I the perception of a person that builds motorcycles? And this is something that I really struggle with quite a bit, because when I first started riding, you know, I was still going through my big video game phase, because when I first bought my very first motorcycle, it is beautiful out here, I was balancing playing video games and riding motorcycles. And over time, motorcycles essentially eclipsed dramatically playing video games, to the point where all I do is build and ride, and I don't really game anymore. So that was really a huge passion of mine. I grew up playing Sega, Nintendo Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, Xbox 360, all that. So, and PlayStation 2, like Need for Speed Underground, oh my God. So anyway, when I started riding in college, I had people that would say like, dude, you ride a motorcycle? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I ride it every day, it's great. And people would tell me all the time, like, you don't look like you ride motorcycles. I would have never thought that you ride motorcycles. And I was like, what you mean? Like, I'm just a regular dude. Yes, I ride motorcycles. So fast forward to now, I build motorcycles as well, and I still get that look from people when I say, yes, I build motorcycles. And they go, seriously? Like, you build motorcycles? I'm like, yeah. Like, why is this so freaking hard to believe? Like, what do you mean? And then when I tell them, even before I even tell them I ride motorcycles, it's still always this look that, you know, I'm just this guy that I just don't build bikes. So fast forward to now, showing everything that I do here, it makes me wonder, do people trust the validity of what I do here, even though I've never claimed to be a professional. I'm always a work in progress. I'm always learning. The Indian Thunderstroke that I displayed, that I rebuilt, that was of course my first time doing that, and you know, I've never done these bumps before. So the two bikes that I've rebuilt, they've both been Indians. But I've always wondered if people have looked at me and thought that he doesn't know what he's doing. Why should I watch this video? Or why should I trust him for anything? And it's a good question, because I truthfully don't have that much experience, you know, under my belt. So, but I've never allowed that to stop me from trying. That's one thing I've never done, is say, you know, yeah, I've never built a bike. Who am I to say, like, you know, I'm going to be the person that's going to build bikes, you know, when I don't have this certain look. But the thing is that, you know, I don't have tattoos. It's not because I don't want tattoos. It's just I haven't found something meaningful enough for me to tattoo. Plus, you know, your boy Chocolate, you know, tattoos don't really show as well on me. So, you know, you got to find the right tattoo artist, the right colors and everything. So that just kind of comes with the territory. And also, recently, I quit drinking. I've been 7 months sober, and I knew that if I was going to build bikes and I wanted to build this motor, I knew that I was going to need as clear of a head as possible, especially filming all this stuff. I made multiple mistakes trying to balance filming and work and trying to put this thing together as a first timer. So I eventually quit, man, and that's even less of a stereotype that I have with building bikes, that I guess sometimes to some people can reduce my credibility even more. So for those of you out there that don't look like bike builders or the stereotypical bike builders, definitely don't let that stop you from trying and wanting to get into this. I started out, you know, on the back porch. Even before that, in my mom's garage, just, you know, I started out doing my oil changes and doing my clutch cable. That was, you know, almost 10 years ago. And now, look at me now, you know, building motors. So it takes time. You have to have the curiosity and just the attitude that you're going to do it no matter what. And that's the attitude that I live by. And if I really want to do it, I'm going to get out there and do it. So like I said, I didn't take heart to the comment, but I do think it's a great discussion to have, you know. And maybe the right question is, maybe not, you know, do you have to have tattoos to ride, to build a Harley, versus is the perception of building a Harley means that you have to have tattoos, right? You know, the perception of a Harley rider or a Harley builder is that they look this certain way, and we know that's not the case. So maybe the perception needs to change. I don't know, but that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, it was a great comment. I didn't take it to heart, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. But definitely, if you want to catch up on the rebuilds and not miss anything, definitely make sure you subscribe. But as always, thanks for listening to my story, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.